Well, happy Sunday afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. Sorry, did not have this at 5 o'clock like we usually do. I'm sure I screwed some people over, but I ended up having work today, and then my kids are here and they wanted to barbecue, so I cooked some burgers, I made some potato salad, and cooked some chicken wings and some drumsticks and everything barbecue, and just had dinner, so I'm stuffed and ready to take a nap. So if y'all want to check on out, I'm okay with that. I can grab a seat on this couch and take a nap and be just as happy. Let me say hello to Lady Libra. Shout out to Lady Libra, double dipping on both channels. We got Cowboys Nation over there. D'Angelo Cranston, what's up? Holly Pierce, what's going on, Holly? Sugar Daddy, Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. And Chris May, Retro Games. Jimbo, our resident Eagle fan, what's going on? Dan, 1985, I'm here. EJB, good day to all. Enjoy your time with your family while there's time. Amen on that one. Dirty Sanchez, hey. And let's see, did I get everybody that's in the place? Appreciate everybody taking time out of their holiday weekend to join us. And there's Logan Motorsports, always the first one in the house. I was sitting here talking, my kids were talking about the movie Final Destination. And in that movie, there's Tony Todd, I think is his name, actor, who played in Star Trek, Worf's brother. And I actually met him in New York some years back. And so he's an actor that's in Final Destination. And it turns out when he was filming that movie, he was dying from terminal stomach cancer. And so his lines in the end of the movie are real. They allowed him to like freelance his speech at the end, and he has since died back in November. And lets you know how precious your time is and life is. So at the moment, we ain't got anybody join us in the chat here. I did put any channel members that are here that aren't stuffing your face, by all means, go to the community tab and join us here. My question here, I just got, this is kind of crazy, okay? All you guys know, I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. And I grew up in Northern Virginia, outside of D.C. I'm literally about 25 miles away from FedEx Field. And I grew up with Richie Pettibone's kids in high school with me. His son, Richie Jr., he was the defense coordinator, was, a linebacker on our team. His daughter was a cheerleader. My brother ran into Dyron Talbert's wife, had a car accident with her. Joe Gibbs' kids went to the Crosstown Rivals. JD was the quarterback of their team. And so growing up here, I always get told, that, how can you be a Cowboy fan being from in the shadows of the Commanders? And for the most part, there's not that many, although there were quite a few. But in my family, I'm working on this kitchen for my cousin, Kurt. And y'all know his brother, Daniel, okay? Now, I haven't been down to Daniel's house in a while doing work, but he's a Commanders fan. He helped us out when we were doing the tailgate and brought his barbecue grill up and his truck and everything else and carrying stuff in there. Really cool people, even though he is a Commanders fan. The funny thing is, his brother, Kurt, is actually a Cowboy fan. And so you got brother and brother, just like my brother is a Commander fan and I'm, of course, a Cowboy fan. And so I'm doing work at Kurt's house, and Kurt's like, every time I start getting close on one thing, he comes up with a new list. It's like he's trying to make this a career job. So now his brother Daniel, he calls me and says, hey, man, my wife wants to redo the bathroom upstairs and some other stuff and this, that, and the other. It's like, wait a minute, y'all fighting over me now? Y'all fighting over me. But he calls up, and I kind of lit into him because, like Momo, these Commander fans all of a sudden act like they've been great for years. Like, don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years. No, you haven't. You ain't done shit since 1991. So don't come at me with this arrogance. Cause my cousin Daniel literally acted like, man, we're gonna be good next year and everything else, man. You guys got a long ways to go and everything else. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. Y'all can go right off a cliff, just like the New York Giants did a couple of years ago. They made the playoffs. Danny Dimes got a playoff win. They looked like they were the real deal. Next thing you know, crashed and burned. Never to be heard from again. And so that could be you, bro. That could be you. So I'm getting, hold up. Somebody sending me this message here. Hold on. Oh, Momo says the link's not working. Uh-oh. Okay, hold up. Let me redo the link. Hold on. He said, Mark, you're an idiot. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. I'm an idiot. Let me try it. Let's see. Okay, Momo, try it again. Look, I started talking about Commander fans, and he came out the woodwork. Let's see if that one works. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. Oh, because I put the wrong link in there. That wasn't the link. I'm an idiot. That was the link to Mike McCarthy. Okay, all right, let's see if that works. There we go. Blue Virus and Momo. I'm an idiot. I'm really an idiot. There we go. All right, Momo, you're muted. Blue Virus, you're muted. Welcome. Hope everybody's having a great holiday weekend. I've been stuffing my face. I had some barbecue chicken. I had a burger. I had corn, grilled corn. Oh, my God. Whew. How you doing, Momo?
So, Mark, what was the problem is that you had, every time you tapped on the link, the original link,
it went to Mike McCarthy.
You had old ex-Cowboy up there, and they stopped playing his video.
Yeah.
Mark McCarthy's video. It was a YouTube video from 3 years ago.
Yeah, because I was actually, again, I'm just an idiot. Let me get rid of that. Delete that post. I used that video because I thought it was interesting listening to Mike McCarthy and his press conferences versus Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, I don't know if he's going to be able to coach the team well, although I believe in him from the work he's done in the past.
It's bad. You got a man crush on him.
Well, you know what?
Away.
And what's wrong with that?
I ain't going to have no man crush on no man. I'm sorry, Mark. I apologize if I offend you, but I ain't doing that.
Well, we know you're not, because you are, you're Mr. Ass, okay? You're always just like angry. Why are you angry?
I'm not an angry man.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
I just tell the truth.
So wait a minute. I can't be happy about having a guy who's motivating the players as opposed to the clapper. Way to go, Jimmy. We'll get him next time, buddy. We'll get him next time.
I'm just saying it's May. And it's ain't just the Cowboys. It's all these teams. Hey, Holly. It's all these.
I can't. I could be dead by the time football season gets here, so I can't enjoy myself right now.
So I don't get excited over football in May. I really don't.
Oh, typically as a Cowboy fan, we don't, because we don't do jack. We get beat down and told we suck ass. You don't care about football because your team isn't getting any new shiny new pieces like everybody else. So,
Mark
I ain't been there, so I don't know how to act.
This movie before?
Actually, I haven't.
Found a movie.
Well, no, I have not seen this movie. I have not seen this movie where the Dallas Cowboys actually have more than two deep at all positions.
I remember when Romo was the quarterback. They had the same some great wide receivers. Two good ones. They had Des Bryant. Everybody was praising him. Then y'all had then you had that's my quarterback, and Terrell
T.O.
Owens.
That was before
Yeah.
Dez. You didn't have them at the same time. You had T.O. and Miles. I've got rubber bands for hamstrings, Austin. Okay? And Terry Glenn.
Terry Glenn was good.
Terry Glenn was at the end of his career, man. Terry Glenn was a slightly wealthier version of Brandon Cooks at this point.
Well,
All right, let me get Cowboy. Stop. Why stop? Between you and Leo, y'all come in here and take over the show, man. I'm sick and tired of Commander fans that have visions of grandeur acting like they the Kansas City Chiefs after one decent season. You had one decent season.
Hey, you about to have a second year of a decent season.
Get back to me after that happens. Right now, you've had one.
Little dirty, little
Oh, my God. How's everybody else not named Momo doing?
Doing pretty good, Mark.
How's everybody doing? How you doing, Chris? How you doing, Virus? How you doing, Laurel? And typical Cowboy. So here's the thing. I'm not here to gloat.
Dang, is this Momo show
don't get
or what?
excited
I'm
over
confused.
football in May. I'm just not going to do that. When July gets here, then we'll talk about it.
Okay, bro.
I'm so ready for
You can do you, okay? I'm going to go through and I'm going to enjoy the fact that my team actually went out and they got themselves a stud wide receiver. That's not an over-the-hill guy that's only 24. I'm going to get excited for that because as Ultra Cowboy, we know how Ultra is. Ultra, Dak has never had these type of explosive weapons. That's Ultra. And you know when Ultra, typical Cowboy fan, what you doing up in here? Are you in the shower or something? The fuck? Got his shirt on and looked like he was rubbing on some soap or something. What are you doing?
Hey, I just like the way my body feels.
Okay. All right.
No comment off of that one.
You wouldn't know nothing about that.
Woo.
I ain't trying to find out.
Momo, I know you're not shy. Hold up, Momo. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't cast the first stone. Don't act like you ain't showing your crack up in here. Okay? Don't act like you ain't showing that. So I don't want to hear it. All right.
I got you.
So we know Momo's vote. Don't get excited right now. I want to get Cowboy fans' perspective on how they're feeling about the new word, of course, is culture and energy is what we're hearing from the players and the coaches and so on. Is this fake juice or is this actually something that's real that will help this team come together?
Something is new. Something new. I mean, new era for sure. And all the other trolls and haters, they're gonna automatically say we're gonna suck. I mean, and that's cool.
And that's fine.
That's cool because they might be right, but they don't know. Just like we don't know.
I never said y'all was gonna suck. I said y'all gonna have a decent season.
Okay.
Well,
y'all gonna win 9 or 10 games.
Here's the good thing about people thinking we're gonna suck. We ain't got nowhere to go but up. We can't disappoint if you think we're going to suck. Right? But I'm like loyal. You know, the thing I love more than anything else, the thing I love more than anything else is that we've got these players in here now for the OTAs. That we're not going to training camp and trying to get to know the new guys that we just signed. And the fact that we are actually young. Y'all remember, Dak Prescott is Uncle Dak. He's the oldest guy on the roster right now, 31. So.
Okay, I got you.
So
I got you. I'm not gonna say nothing more because I'm not here to shit on nobody's parade.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Bobo. You know that. How you doing, Blue Virus, man? What's going on?
Pretty good, man. Just chilling.
Yeah. I just don't get excited over football in May. I just never have and never will because even my team was bad. Even my team was the greatest team in the world. I would never get excited over a team in May. I just don't do it.
You know why that is, right?
Why is that?
Because the team always sucks.
Your defense don't want to do nothing. You're not excited about your defense.
We had a good defense before. It's not about that. Okay, here's the thing. Let's be fair with this, Chris. Do the NFL during preseason games, do their players play during the preseason?
No, but they should.
They should, but they don't.
Now, I don't know because of the game structure they're doing, but
no.
And how much the players are
last 2
worth.
years, the players get in, maybe play a quarter in the last game of the season, and that's it. They don't play in the preseason. So now I'm going to tell you what happens a lot of times. Injuries are going to happen for the first two to 4 weeks of the season, and then you're going to see who's going to go.
Bobby
your
Beninsky with the
body's
first
not
super
trained to
chat.
take it at first until you get enough action, man.
Yes, I agree, because your body got to get
It's like
used
me
to
breaking
the
wood with my
physicality.
fist, but man, if I don't like train my hand to do what it's supposed to do and everything
Right.
else,
Here's the deal.
Bobby
I
B.
can't do it. So when you go out there,
feel
and you
like
do
I just
it.
feel good. We got something to look forward to.
Okay, that's fine.
Whether or not it's good or bad, but we don't have to look forward to the same bullshit that we had last year.
Yeah,
Because last year, going into this last year around this time,
That was some barbecue right
I was
there.
like a flat tire.
There you
I
go.
had no motivation at all. But this year,
I
you
grant
kind of at
you
least
that.
feel okay.
The
They're trying to do
Cowboy
something.
fans, Lord, the Cowboys fans on this channel are totally different, because last year at this time, they was talking Super Bowls.
Who
Cowboy
was?
fans I know
I
was
don't want to
talking
hear.
Super
Oh,
Bowls.
no.
I
I don't
just
know.
wanna see us knock the
Okay.
crap out of people.
Let me say, anybody who was talking Super Bowl last year is not a knowledgeable football fan.
Right.
You could
Well,
not
most of them
you
not.
could not see 9 players leave the team and think that team was going to be good enough to win the Super Bowl. Sorry. You just couldn't.
Our
quarterback was talking about Super Bowl last year too.
Now, do
Well,
I believe Washington?
in Dallas though, Mark, not too many. I don't hear too many people talking about Super Bowl the last 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know who he's been hanging with.
No one really talks about it over here.
No,
We're
they were
just
saying y'all gonna have a decent team. Y'all gonna make the playoffs.
No, we thought we were going to have a decent team because of the 3 straight 12-5 seasons. You know,
Yes.
I mean,
I
we
didn't think that.
assumed we were just
I
gonna
knew
get
once.
there.
I knew once Dan Quinn left, the defense was going to take a step back. And they did.
Lovely Linda, who's an Eagle fan, said that was false, and she was here last year, and she's an Eagle fan. No, nobody. I didn't say we going to Super Bowl. Hell no.
Dak Prescott did before week 1.
Okay, well, you're always supposed to say that, man. Yeah, we're shooting for the Super. What is he gonna say, man? We just gonna. Well, he did actually say, man, we just suck. Okay. But when reality hit him, but yeah, you always want to think that you're good enough to win. Everybody should, but as an objective fan, no, you couldn't look at that team and say that was a Super Bowl team. Not the way the Eagles were building, as much as it hurts for me to say that. So anybody let's be clear. Anybody in here talking Super Bowl besides Momo?
No, man. Let's talk about competition on every level.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
All right.
That.
I like what I seen. Who's that number 90? That dude looked big, man.
Oh, the light skin.
The dude took D-Law's number. He looked jacked. He looked big.
I think
Momo has a
that's
coach
Thomas.
with the worst Super Bowl lost.
Yeah.
Bobby Beninsky. Shout out to Bobby.
So I'm just excited to see, our new toys, the new culture, the new system, all that stuff.
Right. It's just a great time to be a Cowboy fan. Just
And
to be
I'll
honest.
say firsthand, I was just in Dallas last week at the Star, and I seen players practicing. So that tells me there's a lot more energy in that locker room than there probably was last year.
Last year had to be like a funeral.
Yeah. There's a lot of energy.
If you were a coach and I don't have any security after the season, you had to be thinking,
you're about to leave.
Yeah. My job, I'm done. So how excited am I going to be about being a coach right here? And that goes from Mike McCarthy on
when they
down.
first announced Shoddy was the head coach, I was kind of pissed because I was on the primetime bandwagon. But after hearing him talk and the way he carried himself, it's like, okay, he seemed like, he's kind of got a chip on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Like motivated to succeed. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. He sounds like a good leader of men. I don't know if he
Yeah.
owns business or not, but I'm pretty sure whatever business he owns is successful. I don't know.
I had Jason Garrett vibes. It's the same thing when his press
What?
conference.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
No.
I never felt like that was the clapper.
Wait. Give me an example, because you just can't say that.
It's another comfortable hire. It's not there's nothing special about the hire of Schottenheimer. It's Jerry does. He hires from within. He hires people he's comfortable with, just like he hired Dave Campo, just like he hired Jason Garrett, just like he hired
Okay, but
Barry Switzer,
wait.
just like he
Think
hired
of this for a
Chan
minute,
Gailey.
Wade. They went.
But Wade,
You had Mark.
did they
Schottenheimer.
hire their own coaching staff? Did the Clapper get to hire his own coaching staff?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm excited about. What comes with? It's a package deal. What comes with it is
It
his
wasn't
whole
just
new
that,
coaching
though.
staff.
It was
Yeah,
also
I gotta look at the
fact
history.
that,
You have to look at the
Seattle's
history
whole
of
coach came in too.
There's been other coaches for the
Talk
Cowboys
to Jerry. That's probably what that was about.
Jerry
that
handpicked
hired
them.
their own staff.
Well, yeah.
Jerry
probably,
handpicked all the other coaches that we had.
And
He
not-
did
not
when Mike
all of them.
McCarthy
Not
first
all
got
of
here. He did kind of let him, bring some
Maybe
of his
like
guys
3 or
in.
4.
But then when Mike
Maybe
Nolan,
like 3.
when our defense went
Yeah, maybe
had a
more.
historical bad year, they got rid of that, and then that's when Jerry Jones started stepping in and started bringing his guys in.
Yeah, but not
Right.
like this with Shoddy. He let
Yeah, but
Shoddy have everything you want.
Loyal wanted Dion. I wanted Dion too. Here's the reason why I wanted Dion. I wanted Dion because he already done walked the walk already. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. He's a Hall of Famer.
Bro, no.
He's a leader
no,
of
Not
men
as
as
a
well.
coach.
No.
though, not
He's
as
a-
a coach.
he's a
As a
leader.
player.
No. You tripping.
What did Schott-
no,
hold on,
bro,
what did
that's
Schottenheimer
wild.
do?
That's
Someone
I
asked
agree
me.
with
Someone
that. I agree
asked
with
me
He's
the
been on.
question.
Okay, if that's the
What
case,
has
he's been on Super Bowl.
Schottenheimer done in
He's
the
been on
NFL?
Super Bowl
Someone
teams,
answer that
dude.
question.
what have what?
What has Schottenheimer done in the NFL?
Nothing.
He's been
What do you
in
mean?
the
This is his
league
first
for about
coaching job.
25
What do you
years.
mean?
Okay.
What
It
has
would have been
Dracula
Deion-
done before he came to the
Hold on.
Eagles?
It would have been Deion Sanders' first time. Except Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer and has walked the walk as far as a Super Bowl champion. He knows what it
No.
takes.
No,
That
you
doesn't
sound
mean
crazy.
anything, though.
You
It
sound
don't
crazy.
mean
He
nothing.
Dion kind of got. He was.
Bro,
he was
even
like, he
Michael
helped our
Irvin was
team,
saying this. Even Michael Irvin
but-
was saying the same thing.
Because
We
they're
did
buddies.
not.
But Dallas
They're
had a
buddies.
team before Deion Sanders.
Hey,
They had two Super Bowls
no.
before Deion Sanders.
But look, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'm gonna go with what Michael Irvin said than the average Joe.
Well, Michael Irvin wrong too. It don't matter. Michael Irvin wrong too.
Okay, let me say this much, Wade.
Okay,
Jason-
So what,
hold
hold
on.
We gonna win Super Bowl with Schottenheimer?
I don't know.
Say
We
that.
gonna see.
Okay, here's what when you
I'm
compare.
gonna
Hold
tell you
on.
something right now. He ain't even his dad. He ain't even at his.
How
dad's
do you know?
level, and his dad.
How
is
do you
great.
know?
You not your dad. You
Okay.
not your dad.
Okay,
But
hold
that's-
up,
that's
hold
the
up,
shit,
hold up.
Wade.
Wait. Here's
He has
what
a
I'll
chip
say.
on his shoulder, and I like that.
Yeah, but here's what I will say is Jason Garrett was quarterback's coach 2 years before he became the offensive coordinator for 1 year of the Cowboys and then head coach. What I can say about Brian Schottenheimer was his coaching career started in '97 as an assistant with the Rams, went to Kansas City as an assistant, eventually Washington Redskins quarterback coach 2001, Chargers quarterback coach, then with the Jets 2006 to 2011, offensive coordinator that went to, I believe, 3 AFC championship games with Mark Sanchez as the quarterback.
In the NFL, is that in the NFL?
That's in the NFL.
Do you hear it?
Oh, I
Okay.
hear it. Did he win a Super Bowl?
Keep going.
He went to the, I tell you what, he's gone farther than Jason Garrett did with the Dallas Cowboys. And he was the offensive coordinator.
I mean, on the
Mark,
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay, hold up.
One little
He ain't
thing
walk the
about
walk.
him.
That's all I'm saying.
Mark, he turned
Bro,
down
just
two
appreciate what
NFL
you got.
coaching jobs. He turned down 2 NFL coaching
Appreciate
jobs.
what I
and
got.
reports
My
already
franchise ain't
reported.
won a Super Bowl in
Probably
30
because
years.
it wasn't in his
No.
best interest to take
Okay.
the job.
I'm ready to win. I'm not trying to
hey,
do the
be
whole.
a fan,
Maybe you
be a
didn't want
fan of another team.
You know,
Hey, what if you was the
Wade,
Vikings?
Wade,
What if you was a fan of the Vikings?
Wade, do you have multiple personalities? Because no, I'm serious. Because some days you come in and it's like, yeah, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Other days you come in and you just mad as hell. Which Wade am I talking to today?
They have to show me something. I'm not going to give this coach the benefit of the doubt till I see success, till I see shit, till I see win.
Wade, you can't blame the son for the father's sins.
Like, he's crazy.
You can't blame him for the other 30 years. We can only judge him by what he does.
Me too, sir.
First track
too,
record
sir.
shows winning, so you know.
Lot
So
of
the
live and
pain
breathe
you
the-
feel
I live
is the
and breathe
pain
the
I
Dallas
feel.
Cowboys. I
The
can
pain
tell
you
you right
feel
now.
is the
I can tell
pain
you
I
right now.
feel,
I'm not a
Wade.
fair weather fan. I can tell you right now. I ain't no fair
Hey,
weather
do you
Cowboys.
Could have had
hear what I
Dion
said?
and his son, but
Do you hear
Jerry
what
is
I
cheap.
said, sir?
Well, they still could have had his son easily. Bobby B. He could have still had his son. That's not a problem. I'm okay that we didn't get his son and his father, because that would have been the circus. I actually think the fact that it's not a circus around right now is a good thing.
All this structure, right?
Yeah, and
Man,
the fact that Wade, I know we're ass and everything else. You have to admit that things are different. We're not sitting here saying we need a linebacker in training camp and out trying to find one. Okay, you know what I mean? We've gone to training camp knowing we need defensive line, we need linebackers, we need running backs, and all this shit. At least we've gone through and we have made credible signings and trying to get guys here for OTAs.
I hear you. We've made movement. We've made movement. I hear you. We've also had good enough teams to get it done, and we fell short too.
Well,
so
again,
we'll see what happens with this. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this team.
Well, you know what? The Eagles can actually say that they had credible teams that could have gotten it done and didn't until they did.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Stop dwelling.
They didn't until they did.
Oh, hold on. Drew's asking us. He's saying, "Did Michael Jordan's son become a superstar?" No, but that's not always the case, Drew. You can't just assume just because it's the son of a great coach they're going to fail. They might be better than their dad.
Yeah,
it might be that the son is the one that finally is the one who graduates and gets the trophy.
Let's look at Stephon Curry. He did better than Del Curry did in his NBA career.
Not
right?
Elon.
So you can't just say just because they're not going to fill their dad's shoes. They could.
Well, didn't
Peyton
I
Manning's
Manning's
dad
just
or
want to
kids?
say about the hire. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all got a hire. Every team got structure, and the Cowboys got structure. That's fine. But I don't think Schottenheimer. We'll find out in sticky situation is he gonna make the miscues as past coaches do going forward. Not calling time out where time is going off the clock.
You're already setting us up. You're already wanting us to fail. That's what it is.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we will see if he make bad decisions on the team. Every coach got to go through this.
Yeah. So does Ben Johnson, who was just hired. I bet you. I bet you of. I bet. Here's the bet I will make.
And on his over his 20-year career as assistant coach, he has turned down 2 head coaching jobs. So why are we talking about
what does that mean?
Well, Kellen Moore turned
the process and he was going to hire.
The thing is our franchise needed a shakeup. We needed to be uncomfortable. And the thing is Jerry went with comfortable. That's why we have not gotten to a Super Bowl in 30 years. They want to be comfortable. They don't want to bring in outside people that make them uncomfortable and do shit they don't like them to do.
How many outside people did we bring in this year? How many outside people have we brought in?
I'm going to say somebody's feeling uncomfortable right now in Deron Bland.
Coordinators from the outside. Jerry brings people from the outside all the time for coordinators. What is that about? They do that all the time.
Typical needs a shirt looking like Daniel a Twig.
Hey, Drew.
What?
Drew.
Bobby B.
When Dracula first got there, what has he done before he came here? You see what I'm saying? So you can't say that Shotty's automatically going to suck. You don't know that.
And hell, what did your coach do before he got
Dracula,
there?
I think he was
Didn't he have the biggest collapse in NFL history?
Offensive coordinator of the Colts.
Offensive coordinator.
Oh, he was offensive coordinator. I thought he was. I never heard of him before he came to the Eagles. I didn't know who he was.
He was blood sucking the Colts. Oh, sorry, he's a vampire.
Yeah, he's done pretty well for himself. He created
that's
culture.
exactly my point.
He's kind of doing what
Exactly my point. Shotty's got a chip on his shoulder. He knows what's expected. He knows, the fan base. He knows.
And he knows the quarterback.
He has connections with people that you wouldn't even expect because he's been around. His father, just by his name, he has connections.
I mean, it was different for Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett's dad was part of the Cowboys organization.
Right.
That's why he got the job.
Mm-hmm. And Primetime was part of the Dallas Cowboys too, so he'd be inside.
Well, it was one of the reasons why.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When Mike McCarthy came in, he was like, "Here's Kellen Moore and your coaching staff." He couldn't pick his own coaching staff.
Yet, Drew. He hasn't done anything yet.
But Brian Schottenheimer was allowed to pick the guys he have. And if you don't think Caton Adams is a good hire, when you see what they've done with the Cardinals with their running game and some of the other hires that we have in here. Now, you have to understand the head coach is like the CEO. He's got the philosophy of what we want to do. Now, he's going to be the offensive coordinator too. But the fact that you've got these players that are showing up for OTAs and excited about being there, that's the first step.
And everybody was there. I was
right
there. Mm-hmm. I was in the house. I seen it. They were there, full go. Well, not full pads, but everybody was participating.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do no.
That's something.
Pads.
You know, I was there too. I was practicing there with them.
Mike McCarthy looks like Santa Claus.
I was running routes with them.
I'm just saying. I want to see players, all teams, players with full pads because I don't want players to get hurt anymore. Doing OTAs or practice or training camp because this will always happen. Somebody always has a significantly injury in doing that because if they don't toughen the play, your body is not tough enough. If you don't use your hand or your arms or do nothing, then you go up and get physical the first real game of the season. Somebody go out game, his hamstring or his ankle.
But that's why they exercise. What you talking about? Hey,
they don't exercise.
Which is why I'm happy. And you know what, Momo, you are 100% right. Hold on. Momo, you are 100% right. Really, the only contact you have is actually training camp in those 14 padded practices. And typically the Cowboys, during training camp, they're out there signing guys that have been on the street. And you ended up having CeeDee Lamb not go through training camp and get signed a week before the season starts. And his first contact and first hits is the first game. At least the Cowboys have gone through. Now, there's going to be some more adjustments. There's some of the guys we signed and we were excited about, like, say, Paris Campbell's or Miles Sanders may not make this roster as they go to bring in more and more players, but at least you have them there now. They're already signed on your roster. They're not out sitting on the streets waiting.
I'm talking about there's no physical contact.
Well, that's everybody though, bro. That's everybody.
They know like that.
Look, that's
your body got to get used to the physicality. You ex.
And guess what? Guess what? It's the same across the board, so everybody's going to be dealing with that.
Yes, I'm just saying, across the board. I said across the board. That's why we have so many injuries the first 4 games of the season. That's all I'm concerned with.
Here's my point. The morale is high in Dallas.
Oh yeah. I ain't not doubting the morale.
Last year, the morale wasn't high.
There was
I don't care what no one says. When Dan Quinn left the building, the morale went out the building.
Yeah, Momo.
This year, the morale is there.
Yeah, Momo, we didn't do anything. We didn't do anything until after the draft, Momo. We signed one player of our own until after the draft. So, you know.
In training camp, we signed Jordan Phillips. We made a trade for him. We signed Carl Lawson, after the Rams game. You know, we were still filling out the roster during training camp.
Get that, Mark.
Okay.
Game time. You're an intelligent guy. If you don't have physical contact, I don't care if you there through OTAs, the mini camps, and you ain't got physical contact, and nobody. Because
we all know, Momo. We all listen, Momo. I've equated that to being a NASCAR driver. Right. And you're driving all week at 55 miles an hour, and now it's Sunday, we're racing at 200. It's the same thing, but everybody has to do the same thing. So it's not like
saying they don't have to do the same thing.
And that's part of, unfortunately,
the first 4 games of the season. That's all.
Here's the thing. Because you had NFL players, older players, as part of the collective bargaining agreement, the NFL owners could go to them and say, you know what? You guys practice too much. So how about you go ahead? We're going to cut down the amount of padded practices and the mini camps and the OTAs. And the players are like, yeah, we don't want to practice. And we'll go add another game.
Exactly what they did.
You're already on record, Momo.
They got less practice. They don't practice with full pads no more.
Okay, Momo, we got it. You go past it.
That's the one thing we got to do is keep it 100. Momo, you said you're winning the
we definitely winning.
Oh shit!
Cowboys coming second, Eagles coming third.
You said Dallas is going to be 2 and Eagles are going to be 3. That's what you said.
Yes, and I stand by that.
No, but I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying I don't know. I'm going to speak for me and a handful of people that I know, as far as in my life.
Dirty Sanchez, you're a nut.
I don't know, Mark. I'm not saying anything about Super Bowl. I keep reiterating it. I'm not talking Super Bowl. We get it. It all comes.
I don't know who they're talking about that's saying the Cowboys are talking Super Bowl.
Are we not allowed, Mark, to have?
We're not allowed to be joyful.
To have any kind of excitement.
We're not.
Why?
That's exactly it.
The one
We're
thing
supposed to be miserable.
I always tell Drew this because he has some facts, but he does not want us to be even happy for anything.
I mean, Sirianni can come in and be a coach
and it's
as early as he has and didn't know what to expect with them, and now they're Super Bowl.
I'm not on record to say anything that the Eagles have done. They have been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the last 8 years. Okay, so again, we don't have to. It's that old adage: we don't have to hammer Dak to praise Jalen, or vice versa. You don't have to, but it seems like Eagle fans and some Cowboy fans just want to. Well, Dallas this, Eagles that. And it's fun to talk about, but we're not talking Super Bowl. We're talking, I think we're going to be a talented football team. Now, I don't know. Our schedule's hard, at least on paper. I don't know what that's going to compute. But Momo, everybody's under the same rules.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody's under the same rules.
And I can agree. I agree that they don't hit enough and they don't wear enough hats.
Yeah. The product sucks, and it may hurt Dallas because we open up against... on banner night, for crying out loud, and then we come home against a hot Giants team, and then we go. We better get off those.
Hey, relax.
We just can't get no love. We can't get no love. That's what it is. No matter who we sign or what we do, people are going to criticize it. Like if we were to sign Ramsey, I guarantee people would say, "Oh well, he's washed up." But if he went to the Eagles, they'd be like, "Oh hell yeah, we about to ball out." But if we signed him, they would be saying, he's washed up.
Hey,
that's just how it is.
If
we went to Washington, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Cowboy,
it's a double standard, man.
I said the Dallas Cowboys going to have a good season. I said they're coming in second place. They're going to surprise some teams, and then like that. But that's what I believe. But I'm not shitting on the Cowboys parade.
Yes, you are.
That. Oh, I'm saying talking about the whole league, the league, because these rules. Because we don't know what these new rules are going to come out. But anyway, that's another story.
Bobby.
But what I'm saying that I believe the Cowboys are going to have a good season.
I don't know what you're going to do.
I don't believe.
I'm not going to rain on my
neck. As far as players getting hurt, they always get hurt the first 4 games of the season. It's the whole league.
Listen, maybe
it's the whole league.
I'm not going to work. I'm not going to talk about injuries. Injuries are what they are.
Yes.
So we can't sit there and count that. We can't count that into the equation.
Oh my God, Momo, you act like the Cowboys are saying, you know what, we're just not going to practice, and everybody else is.
I'm not talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about the whole league.
Okay, but we can't change that rule. That is what it is, bro.
I mean, I said this before, Mark, and I get a lot of crap for it. But if you would have said, this is just a comparable thing, that if after 5 games you lost Jalen Hurts, you lost both starting corners, you lost the 2 best defensive players because we lost D-Law and Micah. Like on the offensive side, you lost your number 2 wide receiver, even though he wasn't a great
Bobby
number
Boninsky,
2.
damn.
We lost our number 1 tight end, Jake Ferguson. We lost 2 of our offensive linemen. Again, I would think that maybe they wouldn't go back to the Super Bowl. You cannot look and like predict injuries, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Eagles had some injuries. That's not like they were not injury free, but
but they had depth.
Yeah,
they had a good team that could absorb it
right there.
Hey, Drew,
we did not have depth.
Drew, to answer your question about, I know you said we had a good offseason, but I'm talking about the people like Stephen A. Smith that just want us to fail all the time. That's all I'm saying.
You got to be able to decipher the trolls from reality. Stephen A. Smith, we could go out and do everything perfect. He's still going to crap on you.
I hope his Knicks lose again tonight. I'll love it. I love it.
It's nice seeing him cry.
I hope they get swept. I would love it.
I
see Stephen A. Smith have a meltdown. That would make my day.
Hey, true.
Well, I tell you what, people. Hang on 1 second, Momo. Hold on 1 second.
Game time. Can I say something to you?
Yes, sir.
So, as you know, we both are wrestling things and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I agree what you say about injuries and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you can't predict it.
I'm going to break this down, simplify me as a Washington fan. I don't expect Washington to have great success later part of the season. I think our success is going to come early in the season.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
Linda.
think
Well, that's not going to bode well
and I
for
think
you.
the Cowboys' success is going to come early in the season because I believe they're going to beat the Eagles on that.
Oh, what? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh,
Because
Mark
the
knows.
reason I believe that is because every time there's a banner, teams always lose.
I hear what you're saying, Momo, and I would love to win that game, but Mark knows. Like if we win that game, it doesn't always bode well. If we lose
It
that
seems
game, it
like
doesn't mean
whenever we win
anything,
week one, we don't make the playoffs.
I mean, so there's a rule or record for everything, right? But I
Right.
mean, I'm not making excuses. Like what I'm trying to say is, guys, if we go in and let's say we win by 10 and we shock the world, okay,
Right.
like we all need to be excited and get your barbs in, but just
Because
know
I'm going
that
to tell
there's,
you how
know,
y'all going to win
If
that
they
game.
lose by 3 points,
I-
I'd be happy with that.
No, but what
Hold
I'm
on,
saying
hold on.
is you still got a whole season to go.
This how
This is a
the
brutal
Cowboys
schedule.
going to win that game, the first game. Y'all going first Jalen Hurts to throw the ball more than 28 times in that game. If he got to throw the ball more than 28 times, that's a win-win for the Cowboys. I'm telling you.
I could
Yeah,
agree with that.
I mean, I was at the last time we played Tampa Bay after they won the Super Bowl. We lost. We lost by
31-28.
3 points, but it set the tone for our season. We had a decent season that year after that loss.
12-5.
Right, right.
That's all I'm saying. Morale,
So-
I just want to see how, these guys are mentally, stuff like
and-
that.
And me playing high school football at Anacostia High School in DC, what I learned a lot. Coaches don't always make the players. The players makes the coaches sometimes.
Putting your players in a position to win makes a difference. And when I think about Mike McCarthy and his love of passing the football, okay, trust me, he loved to pass the football. We passed 65% of the time when Dak was upright, and basically only ran the ball when he absolutely had to and didn't really want to until Cooper Rush had to start. And that's the only thing he could really do was run the football. Having a coach that recognizes the team needs to be more balanced, and by being more balanced, you're going to help out a player like Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele is much better as a run blocker than he is a pass blocker. And if you are always to the point where defenders are saying, we are selling out for pass rushing, you're setting up a guy like Terrence Steele to fail. Whereas if we're running the football out of 12 personnel or passing out of 12 personnel, guys are going to have to respect the run first, which is going to make it easier for the offensive line. And if you've ever played offensive line, you would rather run block than pass block. Bobby B, man, did you roll a Brinks truck again, man? Momo, be careful what you wish for 55 on it. Ooh.
I don't. Y'all keep bringing out 55. That was.
I'll
and
be
this
on
how
a
we
roll
come to a
today,
new
Mark. Make
season.
sure you get all the super chats.
I'm serious. I got that one. Woo.
But here's
Like
the
5,
thing.
I
So
think.
let
got
me
'em.
say this, Mark. Say this, Mark. I got to say this. Two people. Bobby, I don't care about the 55 points. So what? You put 55 points. That's all you got to go on.
Momo, look at
Damn.
it this way, brother. Look at it this way. They're still harping on last year's 55 and the Super Bowl.
Yep,
there
and
you
how
have
bad
that
the
right.
Cowboys are.
But
And then
what?
this Big Mac guy.
It
I don't
doesn't
know who
mean
Big
nothing
Mac
this
is.
year.
Big Mac, you keep calling me slow. Ain't nothing slow about me.
Slow-mo.
But I'm saying that
Yeah,
you
that's
got
not
nothing
nice.
going on.
Slow.
with your
He's
life.
slow. Come on, that's a good play on words. Slow mo.
Yeah, I ain't
Oh
slow
yeah,
at all.
Okay.
I got you.
I ain't slow. Ain't nothing slow
What's up,
about
Randy?
me.
How are you, brother?
Oh shit. Okay.
So take your slow ass somewhere else and stop messing with me.
I love how spicy this stuff.
Damn.
Here's where it's funny because, like you said, Eagle fans can't allow us to have any
That's
enjoyment whatsoever. This is an email that I got this
An
morning.
off-season move and be happy with it.
Oh my God, Holmes, you seem
Oh my
like.
God, you guys
but
are
listen
talking
to this, Holmes.
I'll be right
You
back.
be the one that seems scared. You don't realize how much you mention the Eagles compared to the rest of the division.
What's up, Brandon?
You bums are like the Giants level, and I mean shit. They might beat you a game this year. The difference between us and you guys is we talk the talk to shit on you guys and bring you down just to let you know.
An email you got?
That's an email. But here's how crazy it is.
I'm
That came at
sorry,
8 o'clock in the morning. He woke up with that
I
shit.
come off.
Really?
I don't go out of my way to ruin somebody else's, like, you know, I mean, listen, I'm not, I mean, it is what it is, but there are people that are just not happy, apparently, and they got to bring everybody around them down. I don't understand, man.
You know,
enjoy your win. Enjoy it.
a Sunday, listen, 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning, I'm laying in bed with my wife there, trying to get all close and enjoy I'm not thinking about the Eagles on a Sunday morning.
Tush push, all right.
I mean, what is wrong with you, dude?
Let the poop.
You're thinking about the tush push.
Hey. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? How do you wake up with that? Slow-mo needs
hate,
pants
man.
and
It's
some
hate. I don't like the
Velcro. Oh, man.
Lord have mercy.
I don't like the hate, man. We got time for hate. We don't need the hate right now.
Well,
Do we?
we've got 102 days, 1 hour, and 31 minutes until kickoff.
Wow.
And it's been spicy as hell here in May with
tell me
Eagles
about
Cowboy talk.
It's spicy, all right. It's spicy.
Well, everybody's getting riled up. I hope we don't run out of energy between now and September 4th.
See, the difference is what we have this year. We have youth. I think a coaching change is a positive. I know people go, oh, I don't know how you can say that. I believe in this case, it's a big positive. We have youth on our side. Dak is now the elder statesman. He's the oldest, longest tenured player on the team. It's scary to think, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we got a young coach. We got young guys that are vibing with them. I don't know what that's going to compute to, but they're going to play hard. And if I know I can get a team to show up and play hard, game in and game out, I think we're going to win more games than we're going to lose. So I think we're going to be okay. I mean, I don't think all those teams that we play are going to be necessarily as good as what everybody's saying. You know, you guys know how that works.
Yeah.
You know, your schedule is, oh my God, it's a gauntlet. Okay. And then you realize you play the Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, and you're like, okay, they're not that great.
Or San Francisco with half the team.
San Francisco, who's been decimated, and their depth. San Francisco reminds me of us from last year. Their depth, right? They have to pay these players. Remember the Dak Prescott? Now they got
Bobby
the
P.
Brock Purdy.
102 days until the Eagles beat down
if
them
that makes your
boys.
season, Bobby, great. Again, I mean that's good. But if Dallas were to win, you know what'll happen. It'll be, oh, here you go. Dallas won their Super Bowl, and then Dallas still sucks. Dallas can't win a playoffs. So just get ready, people. Even if we win that game, they're not going to give you credit for beating them. So
You know what?
it's unfortunate, but that's how.
I'll go on record. I don't think we're going to win that game. Like I said, I just want
I
to be
wouldn't
competitive.
predict it,
Yeah,
but
I just want to
doesn't
be
mean-
competitive. That's all.
I mean, everybody looks at the line. Well, Buffalo Bills are favored in every game this year as of right now.
Yeah, okay.
Which means nothing. What does that mean? Do you really think they're going to go undefeated? I don't. So,
But here's the thing for the Eagles, though. They may end up being that they've circled the calendar for kicking the Cowboys' teeth in.
possibly.
And then all of a sudden, there's the letdown, and then you got Kansas City, the Rams, Tampa Bay, Broncos.
Again, I'm in a mode of let's start the season and try and win it, but get it behind us.
Mhm.
We don't play them again for a long time. Let's get that game behind us. If it's a win, put it behind you. If it's a loss, okay, you hope you keep it close and put it behind you, because you got another game coming, and this is a divisional bang out of the gate, right?
Mhm.
What's everybody's confidence level?
My confidence level.
Regarding what?
Just like I'll give it to you like this. Since the talk is Eagles, Cowboys, so
9-10 wins.
just verse the
How's that?
Eagles.
I'd say 10 wins. That's what I've been
9-10
saying.
is where I'm at.
10 wins at best.
10.
I think
I'll
at
say
least
10
9,
wins at best.
I would say at least 9, and at
to
most
11.
11. I don't think we can sniff 12. But and listen, and if I would
Hey.
say 9 or 10 is fair.
We had home field advantage in Dak and Zeke's rookie year.
Again, we don't need home field advantage.
Coming off of a 4-12 season. Eagles 25, Bills 27 Super Bowl. Book it.
So
unfortunately, Bobby B saying you're going to lose the Super Bowl.
It's hard to repeat, guys. It's very hard.
Bobby, I appreciate all the super chats, man.
It's very hard to get back to the Super Bowl, guys. I'm not saying you can't do it, but
that's a heck of a grind.
Very hard.
It's
very hard.
It's going to be crazy with what the NFL is looking to do in the future, adding an 18th game, and they're looking to
That'll
double.
Probably help, Mark.
No, it's going to be hard, but they're also
2 bye weeks though.
Yeah, but see, that stretches out the season, and then when you start, they're talking about doubling the amount of international games.
Well, that's going to be hard. Yeah.
So if you're talking about shortening the offseason by 2 weeks, I mean, already it's the middle of February. So we're talking about March is the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which is right now when we're getting ready to start free agency. So you think about how short the offseason is going to be for the team that's in the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs. That ain't much time to get ready for a new season. You're going to see careers shorten.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems that repeating, whether the Eagles feel that they're great and all that, you were playing until February, middle of February. You have a very short, tight window to get ready for the next season. And some guys aren't completely healed from that. Now, the Cowboys, because we sucked ass, we had a whole nother month plus of sitting on our ass getting healthy to recover. That helps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just think that an extra game, you'll hopefully expand the rosters. You'll get the extra bye week. I'd rather do it that way. I'd rather do it that way and increase the revenue than do what the hell they're doing. At this point,
I guess though my mic don't work.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead. You're cutting in and out.
No, do you stand?
Yeah, it's kind of sounds like you go underwater. It sounds fine for a second, then it sounds like you go underwater.
Yeah, maybe don't get
so. I don't know. I don't understand. All right, you got it. No, ma.
It sounds good. Well, it sounded good then.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know. I can't hear the feedback, so I don't know what it sounds like.
You sound fine right there.
Good right there.
All right. So you stand.
That's why I said you're holding the mic too close. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, my fault. Hey, so
you're good.
You hear all the backlash. That's why it hits you harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they probably punch at you crazy as far as insults and banter, because you're like in the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
Nah. Hey, I respect you. Hey, I understand.
Now I'm cool, man. It's just I've learned over the years just that that game. I haven't gone to an Eagle game in Philly because it's a different breed. Mark knows. I'm sure he knows.
You need backup.
It's not. It's just weird because it's not about winning or losing. Because I think you would actually be better if Dallas lost because they would laugh at you and that would be it. If you win,
no.
If you win, if Dallas goes in there and wins, man.
You are part of that?
You got your manhood back. You got your manhood back.
Yeah.
I would like to.
I mean, I've been to many games at that stadium. It's just interesting. It'll be interesting. Dallas got what they wanted. Our owner opened his mouth. I kind of think he knew already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of think he knew that they were opening in Philly or had an inkling, and that's why he said what he said to make it look like he's controlling Goodell. They already had this shit long time ago. So, in my opinion, I'm more worried about that stretch around Thanksgiving. Honestly,
that's tough.
That opening day is that's fun to me. Going to Philly, all the pressure, it's not on us. Everybody's you see.
Get it out the way.
Get it out the way, right? But it's that Eagles at home on Sunday, the Kansas City at home 4 days later on Thanksgiving, and then 7 days later at Detroit. That's the tough stretch. That's where you're going to make your bones.
Well, that's why you got to stack up some wins early on.
Right.
If we're not successful that first half of the season, we're screwed.
Yep, I agree with you.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I think that actually comes to our favor because it gives us a chance to, get the new coaching staff, because we have all new coaching staff. At least they're keeping the terminology the same as far as the offense goes, but they're going to be calling it different. You've got a completely new defense and things. So to have some games that you look at and say that are winnable, they can be teaching games that you can hopefully get some confidence and stuff. And then hopefully by the middle of the season, if you can get Overshone back, anywhere close to where he's been and getting a Diggs added to it, you're getting some extra firepower. And now you've gotten a little confidence and stuff, and maybe you don't feel quite as bad going through against the – because who knows where the Eagles are going to be right at that point. They got some tough games in there. They may not be –
said about a month ago, Mark, and I was watching your video earlier.
Appreciate that.
They had interest in Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Eagles do.
Yeah, well, and I knew that since – right after the draft, and you brought it up again today. So yeah, look for Amari Cooper, which would be a good move for them. Well, I'm not saying, but it's funny how all of a sudden he'll be good with them.
Yeah.
For us, he was shot.
He was Amari Pooper, as they called him.
He was cooked, right?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's going to be good because they got great squad. So it's just weird, but.
Hey, I just want to give the U.S. hockey team some love for winning the first World Hockey in 92 years.
Damn! Shout out to them.
I didn't even know that, so shout out to them. I don't.
92 years, the world team outlast Switzerland. And
damn, that's almost as long as the Eagles took to win a Super Bowl.
Sure, Canada beat them next time.
Oh shit. We kid because we love Eagle fans.
Yeah, they it's 92 years is a long time for any type of hockey. I don't care what sport it is.
Hey, Mark, what's your thoughts on NFL and this damn flag football? What's your thought on
NFL is trying. The NFL is about as smart as can be. Baseball's kind of lost a whole generation of kids. Mm-hmm. Knowing that my niece, who is like this Instagram model and stuff, she comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm joining the flag football league and stuff, and I need to get me some gloves and cleats and everything else. Can you sponsor me?" What you're doing is they're creating the next generation of fans. I mean, so they're going to go all in on that. When you think,
I mean, as far as
the players, I'm not sure that I want to have my players out there playing because you let somebody go through and tear an ACL.
Well, exactly, and
before the season.
I don't think it's that bad.
Well, it's again, it won't be for the most part, but I guarantee you somebody's going to get hurt. And
somebody definitely getting hurt in flag football.
This is why I say
walking up steps.
Momo, but just hear me out. And Momo, I think you'll agree with this because I think we talked about it the other night. Here's the deal. When you get highly competitive, highly athletic guys, right, and you don't have pads on, you can be playing on air mattresses and somebody's going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This is high speed, these best of the best, and somebody's going to get hurt. I'm not saying don't do it.
You don't come contact that much.
All right, but let me ask you. Let's say you're Jerry Jones.
He don't play flag football. Then he don't get
it. Flag football is very, very competitive.
Oh my god!
Just because it's flag.
Like I'm saying, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying, but I don't think it's to the extent that you're saying it.
I
remember when I played in the flag football league, man.
Get hurt, and all I'm trying.
Somebody always get hurt in flag football because you stopping and going all the time.
I'm just trying to say, Momo. Let's say Jaden Daniels is the quarterback for the American team. Whatever. Who knows? Tom Brady's already lobbying for it at 48, whatever the hell he's going to be. But let's just say he gets hurt. What do you think the fan base is going to be like? For
it's about the player in that moment for the player.
I know it's about the player, but this is also a business.
But I know, but you asked the question, and I understand.
It's a slippery slope because you're not allowed as an NFL player to go skydiving. You're not allowed to go. I mean, you want to go skydiving, right? You want to go, but they won't allow you to go. They won't allow you to go. Here, well, we're going to make money off it. Go. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
And that's the only thing that scares me. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying somebody's going to get hurt, and then I hope it's not us. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I
Let me.
hope
I
it's
give
not
you a
us.
synopsis. I give you another reason why it's bad. Let's NFL. Some of these owners and some of these, you got to look at what happened to. Well, Embiid played for 76ers. He was hurt. He went to the Olympics where he shouldn't have went, and he aggravated his injury even worse. So when he comes back, the season start, he can't hardly play. He's hobbled.
Mm-hmm.
So the fans that paid all those season tickets and went to see him play wasn't able to see him because he was hurt playing. Essentially, was a exhibition game basketball. And
Yeah.
that's what the Olympics basically it is. You really
And I
think when
wonder
you
how they're
break it
going to
down.
pick it, Momo. Like, I wonder how they're going to pick it because there are some
That's his choice.
highly competitive flag football teams, and
Yes, I
they're
played in the flag
wondering, are
football
we going to
league.
be able to
It's a
be
lot
picked
of
for it?
blocking. It's a lot of shoving. It's
But I
a
mean,
lot
there's some really talented
and
flag
people
football
do
players.
cut your legs underneath you because they try to get somebody
Well,
open.
that's what I was trying to say. Again, I've
I
played
know.
years ago, and it's very high speed. It's
Mm-hmm.
just as bad on your knees.
because you're gonna have the fastest guys on your team. You're gonna have the fastest guys
Yeah.
on your team, and they're gonna run up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like Tyreek Hill, he could pull a hamstring running up and down.
Oh, yeah.
How many times do you see
find a way to have another kid.
in the NFL? How many times do we see non-contact ACLs just given?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Remember Edwards? Is that what his name? Edwards or whatever his name was, the Patriot guy who on the beach playing flag football. Remember?
Yeah, and you will see somebody get taken out.
Get it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Somebody gonna get it, and then
Russian roulette.
the team gonna say, "Oh, we can't pay you." It's gonna be one of those situations.
Well, now they'll get paid, but they ain't gonna be happy about it. So it is what it is. I'm not here to complain about it. I'm just throwing it out there as a topic. I'm seeing a lot of these flag football players. They're like these really, really high end guys that are like, am I gonna play, or are you gonna take my spot with an NFL player? And it is really a different game. Like people think it is a different game.
If they do have it, I think they should have the professional flag football. It should be a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
NFL players and those other guys who play flag football professionally.
I think they were talking about a maximum of one player from each team.
Well, yeah,
really?
our player is going to be. It'll be CD probably,
or Micah.
Yeah.
No, you don't need big defensive guys.
I'm just saying,
football.
Micah is already lobbying for playing for it.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you don't need big guys doing that. Big guys don't play flag football. If you weigh 200 something odd, you need small people with speed.
Hey, big dudes.
I thought you said that Micah Parsons was too small there, Momo. Weren't you
I'm saying that I see a lot of speed guys, guys that run 4.3, 4.2, 4.5. I'm not saying he doesn't run that fast. I don't know how fast he really could run in the 40. I don't know. They ain't my forte.
Well, let's talk about something positive for a minute. Let's talk about Javonte Williams. Mm-hmm. Javonte Williams has come out and said this is as best as he's felt in the
last 2 years,
his rookie year since before the injury. Again, that's highly talented running back that was slowed by an ACL. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about Javonte Williams.
Definitely. You know what? I tell you what. I'm actually excited that we actually have competition. That guys are going to have to actually fight for the spot, especially somebody like Tyler Guyton. That you've kind of been put on notice that, you were a number one pick, but we're putting the best 5 out there and make his ass work for it.
Everything I'm hearing about Guyton, he's put on
muscle,
about 10 pounds of muscle, and he has a great attitude. Again, don't get too worked up about Duke Manyweather. He's just a little butthurt that he's not getting the paycheck.
He's not working. Yeah.
Because he doesn't work for the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of people go, Duke, he's not going with Duke. Okay, well, maybe
he's not the only one out there.
Yeah, maybe he wants to be in with the guys. Clayton Adams is a really good offensive line coach. Now he's our offensive coordinator, but still kind of running the line as well as the Kansas State offensive lineman who is our offensive line coach. Our running game
is going to be so much better.
Yeah, just based on personnel and coaching. Because we talked about it. I thought our coaching, and I mean, I know it's a cop out, but that's how we felt last year, right? And I felt it for the last couple of years is that our offensive line coach was left a lot to be desired.
Oh,
He
yeah.
literally was on Tom Landry's staff. Just think about that. This is a young man's game. You need somebody who can relate to these players. I don't know. I'm excited about all the young guys. So,
well, the whole team is young, and to me, you think about everybody who's maybe was a first or a second round draft pick that are looking at trying to get their next contract. That they got to either shit or get off the toilet because this is their future. So whether they stick with this team or not, all these 1-year contracts are, I've got to perform. Henry Ruggs going to Philly next year. Watch out. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, Bobby B. Well, I appreciate the super chat. If you have any more breaking Eagles news, then feel free to super chat it for us.
Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs is getting out of jail heading to Philly.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael Vick went there.
Yeah, true.
Well, yeah. He did. And it was ugly at first, but they turned around. They liked him by the time he left. It wasn't easy early on, I can tell you that much. Different coaching staff. Andy Reid was able to handle the situation. I don't know the Henry Ruggs necessarily. Bobby to Philly, I don't know, but I don't know that he wouldn't either. So,
well, we shall see. Talent trumps problems off the field. If you can play, they'll find a way for you. What do you guys think about Travis Hunter getting married yesterday?
She take my money.
Oh, she definitely. She's a gold digger.
Gives her a $300,000 G-Wagon.
You better sign that pre-dub.
Oh, she gonna take everything.
You gotta
she
understand,
can.
guys. Travis Hunter had money already. He was one of the highest paid college athletes.
I'm sure he was, but you know what?
Here's the thing: you can't get with somebody who doesn't appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
But they were high school sweethearts, so I actually.
Wait. She's older than he is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's older than he is.
Maybe I'm thinking of Shador.
Yeah, no, she's older than him, and she's been. Here's how crazy it is.
Come on now, look at.
No, hold on. Would you want? Let me ask you this, Game Time. Would you let your wife go ahead and get dressed up trashy, drive her ass to the party, and you stay out in the car while she's partying in there?
No.
Okay, because he's done that
many times.
To go. Yeah, I don't know all the details.
And then you see some of the videos of her at Halloween, letting dudes grind up all on her. His ass is out there. It may have been his first piece, and he's all up in love with it.
Is she a white chick?
She's Hispanic.
Yes.
Sounds like
what somebody will call she's a snow bunny. She's a snow bunny.
I don't know why, but that was the vibe I got. Sorry,
here's the thing: you think about some of these players that, like Adrian Peterson, made $100 million plus in his career. He's $12 million in debt. You think of this young being the number one pick in the draft, and 9 years later declaring bankruptcy. I can guarantee you that's going to end up being.
But you know why he filed bankruptcy? Because they wouldn't let him back to the NFL.
Yeah.
Not to get off the subject, but do you know what really? And I saw a video, and this is what happens, and they lose their money quick. Delonte West.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know about Delonte West. He was a Temple
light-skinned guy, played for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, he was an NBA player. Mark,
didn't he date LeBron's mom?
They have guaranteed.
Yes, that was the rumor.
Delonte West was a multi-millionaire.
And they lose all
off the team.
He's homeless right now. The poor man is homeless. He said
somebody caught him.
Well,
somebody
he fucked with the
him.
King's his mom. So
I saw him. Yeah, but okay, we all make mistakes. But what I'm saying is, he had millions and millions and millions and millions, and he said, "I took care of my whole family and all the hanger-ons, paid for people's colleges." He literally is homeless.
Yeah,
Delonte West,
and everybody's gone.
Celtics, and they're all gone.
But here's the thing on
They're
Game
all
Time.
gone.
Well, Mike Tyson was the same thing.
Well,
when
this
he
is
got
why
found,
Barkley.
Mark Cuban found gave him a job, offered him a job.
I know, but I'm just saying. Look, what I'm trying to get to, because I cut Mark off. Sorry, but
No
what
problem.
I'm trying to get to is the old adage by Charles Barkley. Once you make this kind of money, you can't go back home anymore. You I know that sounds weird. Not everybody's a Chris Webber, because Chris Webber, like literally, has a mansion back in the hood in Detroit, I believe,
That's crazy to me.
or wherever he's from, and
Right.
I commend him. He's doing well, but what you normally can't go back anymore, man. You can't.
Well, Vander
Because everybody
Holyfield,
has their hand out. I'm sorry, that's
You know,
how it is.
Tyron
Vander
Smith.
Holyfield got a mansion in the hood.
Tyron Smith actually had to have restraining orders against his family because he would go through and take care of them, and they kept coming back and coming back and coming back to the point where it was like, you cannot come here anymore, and literally had to get legal restraining
Why do
orders
you
against
think
them.
people win the lottery and
go
stay
broke?
anonymous?
Yeah.
I don't want people knowing that I'm,
Yeah.
You'll know, but I ain't gonna confirm that shit. I ain't gonna put it on the news. People, again, I don't mind helping out either. It's not about being cheap. It's
Gang,
get to your
gang
point,
time.
Mark. Sorry.
Here's the thing I've heard all the time. Once you get that kind of money,
You can't go home again.
and then when you retire, you can't spend like you was in the league.
Yeah, because
you're
that
not
money.
in the league anymore. You're not getting that kind of money coming back.
Well,
Well,
for every
let me tell you-
right?
let me
How
give you
much
an
do you really
example.
take home, Mark? Maybe 300, 400 after you pay the agent?
Yeah, but you've got 10% going to the agents. You got boatloads in taxes.
Right.
Then you got the lifestyle that you have on
Here
here.
in New Jersey, I pay 54% wage tax.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you an
54%.
example.
It's not, when you hear $20 million, don't get me wrong, that's life-changing amount of money. But when you're sitting here
Brianna?
living the lifestyle like LeVar Arrington, he bought a house, so he had a different house for every day of the week. Now he lives in a freaking apartment.
Well, let me give you an example, Mark. Ted Williams, right here from Columbus, Ohio. Y'all know who that is.
Yeah.
The homeless guy that made the headlines. He was a millionaire overnight.
Oh, I thought it was.
And he had a chance. He had a chance. He was homeless, but then he chose to go back to getting drugs and spending. And the only thing it did was when he got all that money, he got more access to drugs. So
Fall back in the same track.
But
But think about you think about Tariq Hill having 5 baby mamas in 1 year while being married. Now his wife's going to try and take half Eddie, and I don't know what his child support's going to be, but they're basing it on his income now. Then your ass gets out of the NFL. They're not adjusting that shit. So if you're spending $15,000 a month on child support for one kid, you got 5 of them. That's what happened to T.O.
Yeah.
Aren't you an independent contractor in the NFL too?
Yes, you are. You get a 1099.
If you get hurt after you retire, it's not on the NFL, it's on you.
You have to. Well,
and also Sean Kemp of the Seattle Supersonics. He had 10, 11 kids.
Yeah.
And he could. What the hell?
And you're paying for every one of those for the rest of your life. So yeah, the fool and their money is soon departed, as they say.
Bobby.
Bobby on a roll.
Can we start for a slow-mo's belt?
I got plenty of belts.
Oh, Lordy.
Ass wipe.
Still got the belt you got to paint your ass with? I do.
Oh, boy.
I felt so bad. So I don't begrudge these guys getting paid. But that's kind of why I brought up.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Momo. Keep your pants up.
That's kind of why I thought about the I would hope that these guys that are going to play in the flag have made their money and invested it wisely, because
that's good insurance.
You're gonna have to, because you could, again, like I said, you're going to be moving as fast as you possibly could. You don't have the 10 pounds worth of equipment at least.
And you got to take into account you're going to have to provide your own transportation to the game.
For a gold medal, you're going to try and you'll be diving, leaping,
airfare, all that.
But
that shit adds up.
Pay for all your flights and all that.
Rent a car.
That's what it is. But
All your diet stuff, your weights, whatever you need.
Yeah, that's a can of worms. I would stay away from that one. But hey, they're professional athletes. And when you're young, you don't think anything is ever going to happen to you.
Now, if you're the top dog, yeah, you might make the most money. But for the average Joe, yeah.
Another story here. They're talking about the Chiefs Cowboys game. We're going to set viewership records all time for Thanksgiving. So get ready.
I can see that.
Get ready. It's going to be the biggest game. They're saying that the viewers is going to be more than, pretty much any game non-Super Bowl. So it's pretty.
It will be if the Cowboys play well during the season.
I thought we played them on Thanksgiving before.
I'm sure we did.
And I remember when Miles Austin, when he was running, he was smiling down the field. I thought that's the last time we played them on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, we got smoked.
No, we won that game.
No,
remember Miles Austin was running.
No, I'm talking about the last time when right before halftime.
Oh, yeah, CeeDee Lamb got hurt.
No, right before halftime, baby and mama number 8, what's his name? The wide receiver. Remember and at the end of the game, I think he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns against us. The dude in Miami. We were just talking about him.
Tyreek Hill?
Tyreek Hill, yeah. Yeah, remember when he kick returned one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah. Like we played them maybe 8 years ago on Thanksgiving. But anyway, it's gonna be, Dallas has had 8 primetime games, Mark? So,
yeah.
I don't know why. Everybody keeps blowing me up. You're wrong. They play 4 Thursday night games.
Mm-hmm. A record.
They play 2 Sunday night and 2 Monday night.
Yeah. That's 8 games.
And true
standalone games. That's not.
And here's where
5 game of the week games. I'm talking standalone.
Here's the thing. I think the NFL thinks the Cowboys are going to.
doing that?
I think the NFL thinks that they're going to be good. You don't put the Cowboys in that many primetime slots if they're going to be bad like they were last year.
And they'll go, oh, they just want to see them
suffer. No, sorry. Yeah, we got to be to the point where we were unwatchable. I don't know about you.
Oh, they were flexing away from us last year.
I don't know about you, but that was the worst December I've had in like 7 years or so of doing YouTube. Back when I had 20,000 subscribers, people checked the hell out. Nobody wanted to watch anybody.
Remember, I think I texted you. I'm like, dude, what's going on?
It was like it was like crickets were around.
It's just a business, bro. I'm like, yeah, okay. I was getting
it was. Yeah,
80.
It was nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to see. It was hard. It was literally hard for us to even watch the games.
Well, I told Wade, I did you a favor. Wade's not coming to Philly, so you're good.
Oh man, I think Wade has multiple personalities.
You're right, because I saw him on Law Nation, and he was nothing but complimentary to the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. And then he comes on my show, and he was the Wade times 10. And then
today he was like, Brian Schottenheimer ain't shown me shit. He's got to prove nothing. And I was just like, wait a minute. Last time I talked to you, you were like, we're going to be all right. Things are going to be good.
To stir up all the Eagle fans.
I was just against it. I think that he has multiple personalities, man.
He might.
Well, so what's your plans for the Eagles game?
Well, I don't know. We talked about it. I'm not paying that ridiculous. I mean, if something were
it's crazy how much those tickets are.
Honestly, I'd rather just get together. We can go to Chicken Pete's. I don't know how that's going to be conducive to live streaming. That's my thing. So I would see the boots on the ground have to come up with a better solution, because Chicken Pete's is literally within walking distance of the stadium. That's the main place.
Yeah,
it's a big sports bar. But
I go to Philly. I'm wearing a bulletproof vest.
But it's going to be packed. I don't know. I don't know. But I like that idea.
I'm wearing my riot gear.
I know I got a bunch of people who want to go down there, Dallas fans and Eagle fans, and hang out, not necessarily to go into the game. So I don't need to. Wow. I don't need to go into the game as long as I'm watching the game.
Okay, here's how bad it is. The very cheapest ticket on StubHub is 2 tickets, $501 each, standing room only.
$501 $500 for a standing.
Let me just tell you,
501.
Mark, that stadium.
What
I don't know
the
if you've been in that stadium. That stadium is
It's terrible.
You're not in a lower level. It's just not fun to go because. Don't get me wrong, Eagle fans, I know you love your team and all that, but it's so steep, man, because they're up on the sideline, the 50-yard line seats, the upper level. I have a buddy who has season tickets. He goes, oh, like, I'll sell you my tickets. I'm not going up and sitting that high.
That's ridiculous.
It's not.
Here's let me give you the next
Tampa Bay
level.
game after they won the Super Bowl, and I paid about $150 for a nosebleed seat. And that was after Tampa Bay with Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
Okay, well here's the upper level. The next price is $601 for it doesn't even list this, it just says upper level. $601 for 2 tickets each. So yeah, we're talking about nosebleed.
$1,200.
Wow.
$2.
Yeah, that's not fun. It's not
There's
worth it
no
for
way.
game.
But the thing that they're talking about greasing the poles and everything else and having the riot cops out that
Greasing the poles.
Yeah.
Did he going to be in
For
town
what?
for halftime? or what?
Because they pull down
Jimmy's on
the
trial.
street lights and things, man.
I know why, but why are they greasing the poles after the first game?
Because they think that they're going to go crazy. It's Cowboys. It's the banner. They're just trying to be prepared.
Okay. Well, they need to because there was a poor Temple kid who died. He climbed up a pole and fell. You know, it's just, come on, guys.
Yeah, I love football, but it's not
Have
that
fun.
serious, man. I mean, come on now.
It's not worth your life.
I'm not gonna fight somebody because my team loses. I mean, that's just...
Well, just know it's not just in Philly. It's in a lot of
it's everywhere. Like me and Thomas Garrett went to Cleveland, and they had a documentary, like Thomas Garrett said, where there's a Cowboys fan that got knocked off the thing. It was crazy.
Well, they had to. I don't know what time the lots open for Sunday night games, but they had to change it because people were getting there
and getting plastered.
By the time the game started, they were another person. They
think
had morphed into a something that was scary.
I mean, the last time Ohio State won a championship, not this past year, but the time before that, there was students that broke into the freaking stadium and took down the field goal post. It's crazy, man. It's nonsense. Why risk go to jail for,
Isn't the baseball stadium like right across the street? Because what people were doing is there was
Philly Live right there.
Yeah, so people were tailgating from over there, getting lit up, and then moving
all those
over.
Places are lots, Mark. You actually park in the baseball lot. You park in the football lot. You park in Wells Fargo. You park all over. They have all the lots. So it's actually a nice little area. You got Philly Live with all the bars and just did like a walk, but it's 9 to 1. I mean, back in the day, there was a lot of Cowboy fans. I'm sure there'll still be Cowboy fans. And I don't think that, but and a lot of Eagle people I talked to are actually selling that game just
because they can make so much money.
They want some money.
Making all their money back. Not,
yeah.
If you have 4 seats and you're selling them for $800 a pop, think about that, So I would. I would do the same thing. I don't need to go.
I could watch it to cover my own home and have,
yes. Or with a group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to worry about paying like $12, $15 for a beer,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to get crazy. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I mean,
let me know. I'll go down
if we're talking about going to a sports bar and trying to broadcast, that's we know how bad that can be. That place is going to be crazy.
I don't know what the answer is then. If you don't want to do that, then maybe just you get together at your house and have a.
It would be kind of cool to get the vibe of the city.
It would.
And things like that.
The back porch set up again, man.
That's what I said. And somebody could come up with something.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice restaurant that has a TV where you have an area that's not music playing, something. Because I think Chicken and Pizza might be overwhelming. It's a huge place. It may not be a conducive.
And if it's right there across from the stadium, when that game is out, that place is going to be mobbed.
Oh, yeah. That's where everybody's going. So, I don't know.
We'll have to think about it. Well, we've got 102 days and 53 minutes to think about it. So we'll see where we go with that. But final thoughts here before we get on out of here?
No, man. I didn't know I was going to hop on. I've been smoking meats and doing stuff around the house today. But
I was just bored today, man. I was
Yeah.
like, I was hoping you would have a live stream because I'm sitting here bored out of my mind. I'm like,
yeah, you know what? I was going to, and I got busy, and then I was up at 4:30. Mark knows how it is when you're smoking stuff. I was up. I smoked 2 pork shoulders. So I was
nice.
I don't know about where you guys are at. It's cold here. It's like, man.
Yeah, it's very windy. It's actually nice today, but it's not great. So
yeah, it's freaking like 50, 60 degrees. I mean,
You guys-
50 degrees windy here.
Why is it that all Eagle fans are always talking about we're scared? Bobby, I'm not scared. Worst thing happens, we lose. It's not like we haven't lost before.
I'm not scared like that.
I mean,
it's just not worth me to pay $800,000 for a seat to watch it. It's just not. I'm sorry, guys. It's not.
Yeah, when you're talking about $500 for a standing room space,
It's not worth it to me. I'd rather be somewhere with a 100-foot screen and have fun and talk shit there. That would be, that would be a better time. I'm just saying, unless somebody's going to step up and get us a club box or something.
Shit.
Imagine
what a club box is going to be right now.
Mark, you can do it at your house and have a big ass bonfire, have a big old screen in the backyard.
There you go.
I don't know about that. Oh, you can do it at the
Red Brick House, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You do there.
That could be if I get that pavilion built too.
I actually sold. I had a big screen. I sold it though, but it was like one of those big ass blow up ones. I used to watch football on.
Yeah, we had one when we went down on the draft in 2018 in Dallas. That was kind of cool.
Nobody's scared.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying we're scared to show up for the game.
Money, bro.
Yeah, when you talk about that kind of money for a game, come on, bro.
For opening night. I mean, listen. Eagle fans enjoy it. It's ring ceremony or it's banner night. I mean, I would tell you normally you guys aren't successful in those situations. Just just saying. I think it may be fun for the Cowboys fans that night. So it's not like I don't want to go into the game. I just don't feel like spending that kind of money week 1 for a game that's the NFL is setting us up. They're teeing the ball high for the Eagles. You guys better win. You better win big.
You're right about that one.
So, but that's it. Just chilling.
All right. So when's your next live stream there, bro?
I'll probably do something tomorrow. I mean, I'll definitely do something tomorrow. It's already 7:30, so just one of them days. But
the day went by quick.
Yeah,
we'll do something tomorrow. Like I said, I was up at 4:30. I was getting tired. I'm like, so I'll probably.
Yeah, I had to. With Mike having his regular job, I needed his help. Putting up some electrical work and stuff. So we worked this morning, and then I came back, and my kids were like, "We want a barbecue, son," and cooked some chicken, barbecue some chicken, and some burgers and stuff. So threw down on that. Had a nice evening. Hell, I'm not scared to lose. Sounds like we have a better season if we lose the first game. Laugh out loud.
Again, scared is not the word for it. I'm looking forward to that game big time. I actually want to be home to watch it or hang out with somebody. A group of people. I don't really necessarily want to go to the game, honestly, after thinking about it. Unless somebody's going to step up, I don't need to invest that kind of money. I'd rather, and Mark knows, it's better for us. If
you know what? That's like training camp money right there.
You know what I mean? It's kind of better for us if we're not unloading all that on that night. You know? That's all. So,
no, that kind of prices for tickets, you might as well go. I mean, that's training camp money right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that game is going to be mostly Eagle fans, and they should sit back and enjoy their. Listen, it's very hard.
It's their second Super Bowl, so yeah.
I mean, I know they don't like
Super Bowls don't come around too often.
Yeah, they're not easy. So
enjoy them when you get them.
Enjoy them. So that's going to be.
Look at us. It's been 30 years since we had a Super Bowl. So
I'm not going to go there and crap on you. If Dallas wins, that would be great. But I'm not going to crap on the ceremony and boo. Nah, you guys deserve it. Right up until kickoff.
And I'll bring you some flowers, Drew.
There you go.
Eagles Super Bowl celebration.
Anyway.
There you go. All right, good people. I appreciate y'all being here. We're going to roll on out, and we're going to go chill with the family. And I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all have a great Memorial weekend. Don't forget what it's about. It's about those who are no longer with us. Peace out.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party